As we come in, as I get close here, I'm just bringing my hands up, and I want to be adding this weight down. So I'm like pulling myself up to make my feet light as I start bringing his hands down. Okay, so here as I add this weight, I'm going right into it. Okay, now right below the tailbone, I've got you tipped over backwards, and this can do it, right? But if you start resisting it, yeah, see, then that's harder. So I'm only fighting you here. That's not even the direction I want you. I want you to go down, right? So at this point, like, oh, I did a good job by breaking your balance backwards, but then you're fighting me by hinging your hips back, okay? Let me get back in this body lock. So when he fights by pushing his hips back, I push his hips down, okay? So yeah, I'm pulling in and doing this, but then I'm pushing to the floor, right? So that adds that weight as I come in here, downward. Well, pinch your knees, go to mount. So people can resist with their hips going back just a little bit, right? And then it'll be kind of stalemate. They might get get an arm back inside. So once you get everything where it needs to be, go down, right? You just want to collapse them, make their knees buckle. Look, even after you start, just start on a double, right? Even after you win on a sprawl, right here, I'm not just devastatingly heavy on his shoulders. I mean, I kind of am, but most of my weight is actually back closer to his hips. However, if I raise my hips once he hits the floor, got a lot heavier. Now I can maintain this as I go to the side. So instead of like switching our hips like this, I want to keep the heaviness on the shoulders, and I can lean forward for our, just lean up, our double lapel choke. This is here, okay? But go back down. If my hips are open like this, he can just sit through, turn into me. Yep. Boom. Yes. Okay. However, when I'm heavy, his arms are stuck to the mat here. Here's another thing. Don't let your head be up. Look, when I put it down, it's all that weight that goes with it. Your head weighs more than you think. Okay? So, let's look at this. The idea is the same on the single leg. Okay? If he's in on the single, I want to think about, one, getting my head over this leg. Bye, girl. Okay, two, getting here. But look, now I have kind of that, I got heavy on that one shoulder that he was attacking with, and then I'm coming through and I'm heavy across both scapulas. Okay, here. Okay, now, that is in just the sense of like, okay, single and double leg defense, sprawl, right, for both of them. And then two, the third context was with the choke. So after you sprawl out of the double or the single, go for this choke. But don't, the traditional sort of caught choke is here. But he can get out of it. Okay? Here, no can defend. Right? It's like it more weight, it achieves that goal of pushing weight into their hands on the mat so they can't achieve that stand up. Okay? It's kind of stuck to the floor in the same regard we've been showing on the standing techniques and grip fighting, takedowns, that sort of stuff. Okay? Does anybody need to see it again real quick, both of them? Okay. Just shoot in on a double. So, look, my legs, I'm leaning forward, my legs are going away and back. And as soon as, here, clock, and, okay, go single. Here, put that weight on his scapulas right here. See, I'm heavy, but once he lets go, I need to go across. Remember, head down, you encounter some sprawl pressure, right? So how we do like the tug of war drill with the belt, and we pull with our hips, right? So when I'm in here, I'm right below his butt here, right? Top of the hamstring. And he starts to sprawl back a little bit, okay? You can drop down on your knee, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull back with my hips. And we got here, the old line table. Boston crab. I did this to him yesterday too, unfortunately. All right, it was funny then too. But anyway, that is an option, right? It's like you can get an ankle lock when they go down because you're kind of in the guard. So that, like, a while back you think we're doing like lapel grab ankle locks and some different things. If you guys want to review that, you can. You can go into a guard pass, whatever. But when I'm in and he's moving here, look how my hips pull his legs out from under him, right? And then you can finish with the ankle lock. Okay? So it's not going to be your arms. I'm not stepping and hoisting. I'm here. Right? Like that. Hips leading. Look, I've been starting my rolls right here. I just put my arm against my side. But, you know, I deny him having an underhook by playing this way. So, I mean, I do not like it when somebody gets this. I mean, they've isolated my arm for potential submissions, all these things, okay? So, you know, a lot of times I'm just starting my rolls right here. I don't really have anything, but, you know, he doesn't have that inside position on the far side. I have to then start fighting that battle we've been talking about where I connect to kind of his inside of his elbow here with the outside of my elbow, right? So as I start to turn on my side and work through some of my escapes, I am flaring out with my palm, raising my pinky up, okay? So wherever he starts to move with this arm, I just kind of follow it as I work out. Which is what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. So one of the main routes is we start turning and coming belly down, right? We start switching, coming up. We've seen like the knee tap or back take route, all when we do these things. But what can happen is I'll be turning down, I'll be going for this leg, and he basically flares it out almost like a knee, come back, like a reverse knee on belly type of a situation. You can do the sprawl, but it's a way, like that, yes. So sort of there, like maybe he's about to sit through the reverse Kessa, is sort of the idea, right? It's like, imagine like sit through and step over the mountain, like yes, like that, okay? So if he senses, you know, okay, he's coming up here, right? That's the sort of the idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with that scoop, like what we were seeing in some of the earlier techniques, like what we see on the double leg. We're doing that with the single. Scoop it out from under, okay? So let's see that again. So here, start connecting, getting on your side. As I'm coming down, that leg's not there, I go to this leg and pull it out from under him to this back angle when I'm acquiring side control.